It was just another fun voyage for Prince Arthur, the Prince of Havenmore, a prince so full of himself he believes the world exists to serve him.
Faster! You're too slow!
At Prince Arthur's urgent command, the crew sprang into action. Just as the ship began to move, a loud crash echoed. They had struck a massive hidden reef. Waves exploded against the hull, crashing over the deck with roaring fury. The once clear sky darkened instantly, turning into a stormy void, as heavy rain poured down like a waterfall from the heavens.
Turn the ship around! Too late, my prince! We're sinking! Take the escape boat! No one gets left behind!
The crew and Arthur desperately clung to the swaying ship as it tilted dangerously, until a massive wave crashed over the deck, sweeping Arthur into the dark ocean.
Prince Arthur!
By morning, the gentle waves carried Arthur to a deserted island. From that moment on, life wasn't about to go his way. A long night at sea had left him unconscious, his breath faint and fragile. Out of nowhere, a wild boar appeared in front of Arthur, sniffing curiously at his face. Its sharp bristles brushed his skin, jolting him awake.
Monster!
He was unable to do anything but scream and flap his arms, hoping the boar would spare him. But before anything could happen, a pretty red-haired lady saved him. Even at that moment, Arthur couldn't help but notice her wild beauty. "Get lost, you stinking wild boar!" "Hey, are you all right?" Spoiled prince that he was, Arthur couldn't bring himself to say thanks.
I had it under control. You didn't have to interrupt.
Right. Just like you're handling the crabs on your ears.
Crabs? Ah! Crabs! Help! I'm under attack!
Diana burst into laughter and began pulling the crabs off Arthur with her bare hands.
Who are you? Where am I? And who's in charge?
Me. Here? Me. I'm Diana. My ship sank weeks ago. I'm guessing yours did too? It was then that his memories returned to him.
My men! The ship! Did you call for help?
Oh, I screamed. A lot.
Maybe you didn't scream the right way. Help! Somebody help!
For hours, Arthur toiled and innovated new ways to be saved, and Diana entertained herself watching him. She knew none of it would work on this godforsaken island. Maybe save your strength for survival? We should find food.
We? You mean me finding food? Do you know who I am?
A man who just washed up like seaweed?
I am Prince Arthur Smicklericles V, soon to be King of Havenmore. And you are? A pirate, I presume.
Diana. Just Diana.
I can see from your appearance that you're a lowly pirate, and therefore ignorant of the ways of the world.
I'm the ignorant one?
I shall forgive you for not knowing your place.
Instead of falling at his feet and thanking him for his mercy, Diana laughed, loud, unapologetic, and deeply amused. Yes, you're right. I am a pirate. I rule the sea. You rule Havenmore. This isn't Havenmore. You can find your own dinner, Lord Fancy Pants. Arthur's jaw dropped. He couldn't believe Diana's guts. No one, absolutely no one, had spoken to him that way. Hours later, Diana returned with food. For some royally deluded reason, Arthur believes that the food was his.
Such an obedient subject. Did you prepare this meal for me?
It's not for you. If you want some, say please.
How dare you address me like that?
Okay, say please, Your Highness.
That's not what I meant!
Instead of serving him like he believed she should have, she began stuffing her face with food, making Arthur really angry.
If you think I'll beg, you'll be sorely disappointed.
Why would I be disappointed? This stuff tastes great. Starving Arthur watched the food disappear bite by bite. Last chance for the magic word.
Never.
In response to Arthur's reaction, Diana simply smiled and calmly enjoyed the food that she had just gathered. For the first time in his life, Arthur was not treated with reverence. It struck the very limit of his royal pride. He was determined to show her who's boss. The moment he noticed her picking sticks, he sprang up and began to pick his, determined to do whatever she was doing better.
It's mine!
Why don't we just put the sticks together and share the fire?
A fire? I thought you were building a fort.
A fort with twigs?
If you need fire, find your own sticks. This one's mine.
Arthur did secure the stick, but had no idea what to do next. When night came, Arthur watched in amazement and some jealousy as Diana lit her fire by rubbing 2 small stones. But Arthur had zero chance of lighting anything. How do you expect to start a fire like that? Just share mine. We'll use your wood so it lasts longer. Arthur couldn't believe she was willing to share after their fight. For the first time in his life, he felt something strange. Shame.
Thank you.
Consider it my apology for letting you starve. Arthur was touched. Maybe he had been wrong about pirates, but all too soon he ruined the mood.
So, how does a pretty lady such as yourself become a thief? Pirates?
A thief? Just because I'm wearing pirate clothes? Do you always judge people by what they wear?
To be honest,
Before another argument could start, a voice rang out over the wind. Someone's coming. They huddled closer, hearts pounding. A sudden gust blew their fire out. Gah! Gah!
Calm down, girls. I won't hurt you. Who's there? The name's James, miladies. Beg your pardon. I thought you were both ladies. We got stranded here after a shipwreck. I'm Arthur, and this is Diana. She's quite been stuck here for months. Best follow me. Another storm's brewing.
At that very moment, Arthur and Diana placed their full trust in this strange man. Without hesitation, they followed him as he led them to a clearing, where he had his small tent, grateful for the warmth. A minute later, James returned with some roasted fish in his hands. As the fragrant grilled fish was placed in front of Arthur, he immediately slipped into an oddly noble dining mood. With exaggerated elegance, he began to eat.
He always eats this fancy?
I think so. We only met today.
So you're not a couple?
Heavens, no! Have you ever tried to leave?
I've built many rafts. The sea is against us. Only a sturdy ship can sail here. And who's coming to save the likes of us, eh?
Suddenly, the wind picked up. Arthur wrapped his arms around himself while Diana shivered from the cold. The fire was nearly out.
It's gonna be a cold one. I'll make a shelter for Diana. You're a man. Need me to make yours, too.
Arthur's eyebrows twitched in annoyance as he watched James deliberately flex his muscles for Diana. James's shameless flirting annoyed him, though he wasn't sure why. He just knew he didn't like James.
I shall make my own tent from nature's offerings.
Then they both began setting up their own tents. James moved with ease, arranging everything skillfully and finishing Diana's tent in no time. Arthur, on the other hand, struggled from the start, and his final result looked more like a pile of tangled sticks than a proper shelter. Just ask him to help you too. It's obvious you've never done this before.
I would rather kiss a wild boar.
I think I could arrange that. Arthur suddenly wasn't thinking about kissing boars anymore, but her. Though it was a bit of a struggle, Arthur finally had a tent. It was wobbly, but it was his. Something he made with his own hands for the first time.
Ta-da! I shall call you the Bayside Manor of Magnificence.
As if to mock him, another strong gust of wind picked up and sent his tent flying far away.
More like Manor of Misery. Sorry, mate. Milady, see you in the morning. Maybe I'm not cut out for survival. Maybe I'm destined to freeze to death.
You're not dying. Just let go of your pride.
Diana, may I share your tent with you, please?
Bravo! Saying the magic words wasn't so hard, was it? Arthur was surprised at how good it felt to say please. He was learning a lot from her. The cold inside was just as cruel as outside, but for now they focused on something else. Sorry for yelling back then, but I'm not a pirate. I was found in a shipwreck as a baby and raised by them. They were my family, but now they're gone.
I'm so sorry. I should not have judged you.
Arthur's heart went out to her, and he learned another lesson. Making assumptions about people was just wrong.
Maybe it's time for a new start. When we escape here, you could live at my palace. I want to learn from you, to do things myself. Thanks to you, I see I'm just a little above a spoiled prince.
Their eyes met, holding for a moment, almost as if they might kiss, before Diana turned away. I guess I'm a little sleepy. Watching her sleep, he realized then he had fallen for her. She didn't care that he was a prince, and she made him want to be a better man. However, the spark that had just begun between them quickly faded by the next morning. A distant whistle pierced the air, jolting Arthur and Diana awake. They crawled out of the tent to see James rushing toward them. What's going on?
There's a ship! A princess! Sailors! I didn't know you were the prince! Forgive me, your highness! Never mind all that. Come on, we're going home.
And then Arthur gently took Diana's hand, and together they walked toward the ships, waiting in the distance. Upon reaching the beach, Arthur instantly recognized the pretty blonde leading the rescue team. His heart sank. Prince Arthur!
You know her? She's Camilla. Just a friend.
He couldn't bring himself to tell Diana that Camilla was his fiancée. Their betrothal had been arranged when they were 8. He had planned to end it because he didn't love her, until the storm hit. Mwah! I'm so happy to see you alive. Everything's okay now. Your betrothed is here. Diana's glare burned into Arthur, but he couldn't bring himself to meet her eyes. All through their journey home, Camilla clung to Arthur, and he didn't get a chance to talk to Diana. He didn't even have an idea of how to fix the mess he was in. But once they reached shore, he finally found the courage to face Diana, because he knew just how much she meant to his life.
Diana, don't go!
You said she's just a friend!
I was on my way to see her and end the engagement before the shipwreck.
Why am I even crying? We've only known each other for, what, a day?
A day. A lifetime. What does it matter? I'm a prince. I know what I want, and it's you.
It seemed Arthur had truly moved Diana's heart. She agreed to give him a chance to make things right and to give them a chance to be together. And so Diana agreed to stay at the palace under the guise of Arthur's servant, a safe mask to keep her by his side without drawing unwanted attention. But Camilla wasn't too happy about it. Servants don't sit at their master's table.
She saved my life, Camilla.
That's her job. Hey, redhead, I need more syrup.
Camilla, the syrup is right in front of you.
Oh, I'm happy to serve. She grabbed the syrup and poured the entire bottle over Camilla's pancakes, proving she wasn't someone to be pushed around. Stop! Stop, you peasant! You didn't say when. You uncouth imbecile! How dare you!
Perhaps extra syrup is extra good.
You! I'll deal with you later. For days, Camilla acted as if nothing had happened, which only made Arthur more suspicious. He didn't know how to tell her he was breaking up with her yet, but he knew one thing. Diana needed to be on guard. In the meantime, Arthur and Diana enjoyed sneaking out to the garden at night, unaware of the envious eyes watching them and planning something utterly cruel. One night, Arthur was ready to take things to the next level.
I want to show you something.
He led Diana to the portrait of the late king and queen, then revealed a hidden chamber behind it, one that held the most treasured crown of the kingdom.
This crown, made by my great-great-grandfather, is only worn by the queen.
It's so beautiful, but why show me this?
Because I choose you as my queen, if you'll have me.
In response, Diana leaned in and gave him a peck, making Arthur melt.
I'll take that as a yes. I'll tell Camilla it's over tomorrow.
Good luck, Lord Fancy Pants. The next day, after breakfast, Arthur finally told the truth to Camilla, about the engagement that should have never been, and about the one person he truly loved, Diana. Your parents chose me! Marrying me would secure your position and help you ascend the throne! You throw that away for a pirate girl?
I care about you, but only as a sister. This engagement is something I never wanted.
What will the kingdom say when their future queen is a thief?
She's not a thief. How can I make it up to you?
Your mother's crown. I had always imagined wearing it. Let me see it once more. It was a strange request, but Arthur was eager to have her gone, so he agreed. But when he opened the safe...
The crown! It's gone!
But no one can access the code without knowing the code. Are you sure you haven't accidentally shown anyone? Arthur's thoughts flew to Diana. She had seen him dial in the code. He doubted it was her, but he had to be sure.
Guards, bring Diana to the throne room.
In minutes, the guards dragged Diana in. What is this? Why am I being treated like a thief?
The crown is missing.
You know I didn't. You have to be sure, my prince. Guards, search her bag.
No, wait!
Before he could stop them, they had her bag turned upside down and the crown fell out. Thief! Just what I'd expect from a pirate. It was like Arthur had been stabbed in the chest 100 times. He couldn't believe it. This is a setup! But at that time, the evidence seemed clear.
Guards, take her away.
Arthur, please! Why couldn't you believe me? And just like that, Diana was taken away from the palace. Deep down, Arthur truly wanted to believe Diana wasn't the one who did it. Even with Diana gone, Arthur still refused to marry Camilla, so she had to go. For days, Arthur wasn't himself. He barely ate, didn't shave. His mind was consumed by Diana. She had hurt him, but he still longed for her. His relief came when James, whom he had now employed as one of his guards, made an unexpected confession.
Diana is innocent. Camilla knew the safe's code. She was jealous. She made me plant the crown in Diana's bag. Please, forgive me. You betrayed her? I thought if she left, she'd come to me, but she only ever had eyes for you.
In that moment, the truth was revealed. All Arthur wanted was to see Diana again.
Guards, prepare to depart at once.
Diana stood on the deck, her gaze lost in the distance. Suddenly, loud sounds echoed from the shore, and for a moment, she thought she heard someone calling her name.
Diana!
Come to arrest me?
It was Camilla. She set you up with James's help. He spoke up to prove your innocence.
Wow, shock of the century.
I'm sorry. I should have trusted you, fought for you. I should have done so many things, but I trust you now. with my life. And if you can forgive me,
Diana gasped in surprise as Arthur went down on his knees with a ring.
then I will spend the rest of my life making it up to you.
Rise, my Prince Arthur.
Make me.
And so, kneeling on the filthy docks of Havenmore, Prince Arthur Smicklericles V found something greater than a throne, a soulmate to stand by him for life.
Hi there, I'm Flora, Portside High School cheerleading captain and beauty pageant queen. My natural beauty and charisma mean that everyone's drawn to me, but hey, I don't make it easy for them. I only allow a select few to get close to me, as I can't be seen associating with just anyone. Only my classmate Nina is pretty enough to have the coveted position of my BFF. Birds of a feather flock together, right? My high school life was perfect. But then, in the space of one day, that all changed. The principal, Mrs. Harrington, told me that due to my cheerleading abilities, I'd won a scholarship to the ACL Academy, a boarding school for the athletically gifted, and I was leaving today. Huh? This made no sense. I mean, I don't even do sports. I rushed straight home to discuss it with my mom and found her sitting on the couch surrounded by a load of shopping bags. Yep, she'd already spent the scholarship money before I'd even found out the news. I know Mom loves money, but how could she make such a huge decision about my life without discussing it with me first? Ugh. Looks like I had no choice but to leave Portside High behind and go to this stupid sports school. Whatever. I'm a skilled cheerleader after all. It'd be a breeze, right? Wrong. This new school sucked. On my very first day here, I was woken up at 6 a.m. and forced to run 5 laps around the stadium. God, are these people superheroes or what? How are they able to run and laugh at the same time while I am panting like crazy? I didn't have time to catch my breath when the teacher made us move to the gym to lift weights. After 3 hours in the hellish gym, I barely had time to digest my lunch before they steered me into the volleyball court. Yep, that's the sport Mom had registered me for. Ugh, this stupid sport. Finally, nighttime arrived, and I managed to crawl my aching body back to my dorm. God save me from this living nightmare. Suddenly, the door opened, and in stepped my 3 roomies, aka my volleyball teammates. Honestly, I don't even know if I could call them girls or not. One has super short cropped bangs, one doesn't say much and shuffles more than walks, and one wears clothes so baggy they resemble a tent. Obviously, I'm way out of their league. And you know what they all have in common? They're always sweaty. So gross. Come to think of it, I have to go take a shower ASAP. Otherwise, I might turn into one of them. Fresh out of the shower, I called Nina and blurted out how exhausted I was and how much I missed our school. Poor you must be so tired. Oh, by the way, I have some amazing news to tell you. There's a city beauty pageant coming up and I'm representing the school. What? But I won the school beauty contest. Yeah, you did. But you don't attend Portside High anymore, so seeing as I came second, they've given me the spot. Too bad, as you definitely would have won. What? How unfair! I was still in shock when the dorm supervisor stormed in and took away my phone. Yeah, I forgot to mention. This school even has a strict 10 p.m. phones away and lights off rule. It's all because they believe health is the most precious thing for an athlete. I tossed and turned all night. This beauty pageant was massive, and there's no way I could miss it. But I'm not at Portside High anymore. Instead, I'm stuck in this dumb jock academy. If only I could get out of here. That's right. I have a brilliant idea. I need to get expelled. So, I decided to skip practice and go cause some havoc for 3 days straight. I poured paint into the pool, cut off the badminton strings, deflated all of the soccer balls, and of course, I made sure that the security cameras caught it all. And as expected, the principal eventually called me into his office. Yes, this was the moment I was waiting for. Soon I could pack and get out of here. Only the rest didn't exactly go to plan. If it had not been for Mrs. Harrington. 2 laps of frog jumps around the soccer field, now! What? Frog jumps? I hate those things! Why couldn't he just kick me out already? But wait, what does Mrs. Harrington have to do with this? After my punishment, I needed to vent. So, Hugging my aching thighs, I called Nina to complain about my failed plan, and she just burst out laughing. Oh, Flora, those outdated tricks were never gonna work. You have to do something bold, like... Oh my God, Nina is a genius. The next night, following Nina's instructions, I sneaked out when everyone was asleep. That's right, I'm going to wake the whole school up with these firecrackers. I lit one in the dorm's backyard, then ran to hide behind the bushes. 3, 2, 1, and silence. Huh? I went back to check and saw that it had gone out. What's wrong? Is this one broken? I tried again and again, but the same thing happened each time. As if a ghost did it? Just the thought of it sent chills down my spine, so I sprinted right back to my room. Okay, so not only had my plan been a massive fail, but it had left me super tired. Needless to say, this morning's run was not fun. Zombie alert! How come they look even more exhausted than me?
Hey, have you guys heard about the doomed jock? He's the ghost in the dorm's backyard. Allegedly, he attended this academy years ago, and he exercised himself to death right there in the dorm's backyard. So now he haunts it.
What was she talking about? Could it be the one who messed with me yesterday was the doomed jock? I couldn't just give up like that. I needed to figure out a way to get out of this awful place before this ghost got me. How about starting a fight? I heard that the fencing team and basketball team were the 2 toughest groups in the school. So, I sprayed paint on their fencing masks and punctured all of the basketballs, and left a fencing sword at the scene. Then I wrote both teams an anonymous letter. Sunday, 2 p.m., abandoned building near the back gate. When Sunday came, I hid in the abandoned house and waited for the 2 groups to arrive. Look at their tense faces. This was going to be fun. I quickly called the cops and then took advantage of the chaos to blend in with the feuding teams. I almost got punched in the face when, fortunately, the cops got there just in time, causing everyone to frantically flee the scene. I happily ran to a cop. It's me! I started this fight. But, to my surprise, the cop just asked if I was hurt. Then he hurriedly chased after the gang. Only then I realized that if I wanted to be caught, I had to do exactly what they did. Run away. Oh, man. I was staggering my way back to the dormitory, feeling deflated, when I spotted the fencing and basketball teams coming my way. Freaked out, I looked around for a place to hide, but there was only one car parked on the side of the road. With no other way, I ventured to open the car door and, oh, it wasn't locked. I quickly jumped in, hid under the back seat, and lay completely still. At that moment, the car door swung open. I closed my eyes and braced myself to catch some hands when suddenly the car revved up and left. Looking up, I saw the principal sitting in the driver's seat, whistling happily. Oh, so it was his car. After a while, the car stopped in front of a bar in town. Didn't expect a serious man like him to go to such places. But wait, an underage student being caught by the principal here would surely get me expelled, right? With that in mind, I hurriedly followed him, but at the door, a security guard stopped me and asked for my ID card. I had no idea what to do when suddenly a strange guy appeared.
Hey, cutie. Need an ID card? How about this? I'll lend you a fake ID to get in. In exchange, you must go out with me tonight. Sounds good, huh?
Well, I didn't plan on sticking around for long, as I would just get in, find the principal, and get caught right away anyway, so I nodded in agreement. I was about to take the ID card from him when someone yanked me back and pushed me into a cab. My roommates! What are you doing here? Do you know you've just ruined my plan and—
Ruined? Who's the one causing trouble here? Do you honestly believe that if you get expelled like that, your old school will take you back? Fat chance.
Huh? How'd you know that I'm trying to get expelled? Turns out my roommates overheard the conversation between me and Nina. It was them who extinguished my firecrackers in the campus backyard, then made up the doomed jock ghost story to make me stay away from there. Then, when the basketball and fencing teams searched for me, it was them who lied that I was with them all day so I could get away with it. But what did you do that for?
Don't get us wrong. We didn't do it for you. We did it to protect the school's reputation.
Then they started telling me that, for the last few years, due to bad achievements, our school was on the chopping block to make space for industrial areas. The only way to convince the city council to keep our school was by winning the state's upcoming sports competition.
We've all played sports for all of our lives. Sport is everything to us. If our school closes, we don't know where we'd go.
That's why when we saw you being lazy and messing about, we couldn't just sit back and watch. Oh, I had no idea about this. Suddenly, I felt so guilty. I mean, of course I don't want to ruin their futures. I then also opened up to them and told them all about the beauty pageant. They insisted there must be a way to join the pageant without returning to my old school. So they searched around on Google, and guess what? Turns out the pageant accepts free candidates too, which means no school registration needed. What else could I wish for? I immediately signed up for it, and as a thank you to my new friends, I started making an effort at playing volleyball. I'm a tall girl, so my training position is a right side hitter. And you know what? There is this satisfaction whenever I was able to block a ball. Not gonna lie, this is much more interesting than I thought. That weekend, I went to the city to pick out some dresses for the beauty contest. I found myself immersed in racks of gorgeous gowns when a familiar voice startled me. How about this one, Mom?
Stunning, sweetie. You're the most beautiful girl in this world. I don't know what possessed them to pick Flora over you. But no need to worry this time, as I have sent her far away.
Yeah, that's where she belongs. I'll show them who's the true beauty queen now.
What? No way! My old school principal is Nina's mom?
And transferring me to the sports academy was part of her plan, just so her daughter could go to the pageant? I was fuming, so as soon as Mrs. Harrington went outside to take a call, I walked straight over to confront Nina. I can't believe you're like that. Nina looked shocked at first, but then smirked as she said, Like what? Like someone who's far prettier, more talented, and crown-worthy than you? Thanks, sporty girl. I shoved past her and stormed out of there. Wait for it, Nina. We'll soon see who the real winner is. The next few weeks were crazy busy with volleyball practice and the pageant preparations. I may have only been a reserve, but I still wanted to give it my all to motivate the team. The sports competition soon arrived, and after 2 days of competing, the fate of the school came down to the final match. Our volleyball game! Talk about intense. It sucked it was on the same day as the beauty pageant, as I would have loved to be able to cheer them on from the player bench. But then, disaster struck. The girl who plays right side hitter sprained her wrist and couldn't play. The whole team looked so worried, and that made my heart ache. There was only one thing for it. I'd replace her. If I was quick, I could still make it to the beauty pageant afterward. Come on, Flora. Stay focused. Just 1 point left, and we'd win. Suddenly, the ball came flying at me. This was it. I hit it with all my might and... Score! We won! I was busy celebrating our victory when everyone suddenly asked me about the beauty pageant. Oh my God! I almost forgot! The match went on longer than I thought it would. My friends dragged me into the taxi, but when we got there, the show was already coming to an end. And worst of all, guess who was standing there wearing the winner's crown and looking all smug? Yep, Nina. Did you come to congratulate me? Thanks, bestie. Oh, you guys must be Flora's new friends. That figures. How cute. Stop the act, Nina. Yes, they are my friends. They're not fake, and they're 1,000 times more interesting than you. Say whatever you want, but I'm a beauty queen now, and you're no longer at the same level as me. My friends started clenching their fists, so I quickly pulled them away before anything happened. Right at that time, an announcement came across the speaker.
Attention, pageants. We've just discovered signs of voter fraud. Please stay inside the hall and await further confirmation.
About 30 minutes later, the truth finally came out. Turns out, Nina's mom had paid for the voting texts. Needless to say, Nina had her crown taken off her immediately, and Mrs. Harrington also lost her principal job. What goes around comes around, right? As for me, I'm not bothered about beauty pageants anymore. Instead, I have a new hobby, volleyball. Turns out I'm pretty good at it, and who knows, I might even become a professional player? And you know what the best part of all this is? I now have true friends by my side who I know will be willing to help me anytime and anywhere.
Here I was, standing in the middle of Christian's apartment with a dumbfounded look on my face. I know I dated a lot of guys, but could it really have been so many that I'd accidentally dated this guy twice? I took another look around the room. Oh my God, that hideous lamp and minuscule kitchen looked really familiar. I was feeling uneasy as I sat on the couch and stared at the guitar. Okay, now I was sure that I'd definitely been here before. Panicking, I made an excuse that my favorite TV show was about to start, so I had to go home. Then I ran out of there. From that moment on, I avoided Christian at all costs. He tried to call and message me a bunch of times, but I ignored them all. How was it possible that I couldn't remember dating him? I mean, okay, I suppose I had been on a bit of a dating streak recently, but it was hardly enough to date myself into oblivion, right? Besides, if this was the case, shouldn't he be able to recognize me too? On the day we met, I was in a terrible mood, so was drowning my sorrows in a bar. I had a bit too much to drink, so when I walked out and accidentally bumped into Christian, I began blaming him. But instead of ignoring a drunk girl, he made sure I got home safely. After that, I don't know if it was by accident, fate, or if Christian was stalking me, but I seemed to run into him all the time. Hey, if the universe wanted us to hang out, then who was I to stop it? So I started talking to him, and turns out we got on really well. Then, of course, came that day when he dropped the bombshell. He said he likes me, and I kind of like him too, so we started dating. Now, did you see how wrong this was? If I'm his ex, then why did he approach me? Also, I mean, what are the odds for the both of us to just have zero recollection of each other? Or was he pretending not to know me? If so, then what were his purposes? Ugh, the best thing to do is to dump him first, right? Problem solved. But then one day, I got home from college to find Christian standing at my door with a bunch of groceries. He came by to cook me dinner. Oh, that's kinda sweet. Well, seeing as he's here, I should hold off on breaking up with him until after dinner, right? But man, it was so hard. All I could think about was how caring and thoughtful he was. Then suddenly, he said something that messed up my whole plan. My roommates are terrible cooks, especially my brother, so the two of them pester me to make all of their meals. Wait a minute, did he just say brother and roommate? So it turns out he wasn't living alone. What a relief! That means there was still hope that I could have dated his brother or his roommate, not him. I just needed to figure out which one it was. I needed to find out more about them, so I praised him for more information. He told me that his brother was dumped by his ex in the worst way possible. He'd arranged a romantic dinner at a restaurant, and while he was talking, she screamed out that she wanted to break up. It was not only devastating for him, but also humiliating. Oh my God. That sounded so familiar, because I often did that too. It's like my signature move. Could it be that the person I dated was his brother, Connor? If yes, then that would be great. It means I could continue dating Christian, right? To be honest, I really hope it's Connor. So all I needed to do was meet the guy and let him confirm it. But easier said than done. The guy was never home. Until one night. Christian and I were at a bar when we heard some loud noises coming from the booth next to us. A guy was yelling at a couple. Seeing that, Christian immediately ran over to them and stopped the guy. Turns out the guy yelling was Connor, and the couple were his ex and her new boyfriend. So she was the one who broke up with him in that terrible way, not me? Now it's either Christian or his roommate. While I was in deep thought, Christian came back with 2 hot dogs in his hands. Hey, Christian! Suddenly, we heard someone calling his name. We turned around to see 2 guys standing behind us. It was none other than Christian's roommate, Wes, and his boyfriend. Yes, you heard me right, his boyfriend. So that means I didn't date him either? After that, I couldn't pay attention to the game anymore. In what way could this all make sense? But wait, maybe I was wrong. I mean, many apartments look the same, don't they? Seeing me zoning out, Christian nudged my arm, then handed me a hot dog. I thanked him and was about to take it when he snatched it back. Oh wait, you hate ketchup, 'cause you always get ketchup stains on your clothes. Here, take this one. What did you just say? How did you know that? Oh, you did tell me once, don't you remember? I just gave an awkward smile. I'm 100% sure I hadn't told him that. So, there's no denying, Christian is my ex-boyfriend. It's settled. I'm breaking up with him. That night, I couldn't sleep, as all I could think about was Christian. He obviously remembered me because he knew about the ketchup thing. But why the act? Oh my, he definitely wants revenge. I'm sure of it. But, why did this suck so much? He was just some guy. I could find another boyfriend easy enough, right? But chances are, they wouldn't be as sweet and caring as Christian was. One time when I was stressing out about my essay, he stayed up late so he could read it through for me and point out any typos. And whenever I was feeling down, he would send me a cake. Sometimes a box of donuts with a little note to cheer me up. I was definitely going to miss his cute ways, but I couldn't do this anymore. He had to go. So the next day, when I met Christian for lunch, I decided to take the opportunity to break up with him. But before I could say anything, we ran into a guy who claimed to know me. Oh my god, is that you, Sadie? Huh? Who is he? Oliver. My god, long time no see. You know Sadie? Christian? Hey, what a small world. Yeah, we used to date. My god. Guys, this is Oliver, who happened to be Christian's former roommate, which, apparently, my ex. He used to live with Christian before Wes moved in. So that means, hooray! Christian wasn't my ex and wasn't longing for revenge. Yay! Although, it's kind of weird that Oliver didn't look at all familiar to me. Maybe I really did need to stop dating so much. This is crazy, but it made me realize something. I really had fallen for Christian. So I decided to set up a romantic dinner in a nice restaurant so I could tell him. Christian, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I love you. I eagerly awaited for him to say it back, but no. Instead, he burst out laughing. Huh? And that's when everything came to light. Guess what? Christian really is my ex. When we were at the basketball match, I made a big mistake with the ketchup thing. I sensed you were sus, so I asked Oliver to pretend to be your ex. And it worked. But why? What did I do to you to deserve that? Oh wow, you really don't remember, huh? Well, just proves what a terrible person you are. You don't care what love is. You just like to mess with people's feelings, then move on to your next victim. Well, let me refresh your memory. We used to be a happy couple. Until one day you decided to end things without even an explanation. Right when I was having the hardest time. Things didn't go well at work and my mom was sick in the hospital. Did you know how heartbroken it made me feel? Then a month ago, when I saw you dump that guy in public, then walk past me without even recognizing me, I knew everything was a joke to you. So I came up with this plan, and I don't regret anything. Then he stood up and walked off. What? That couldn't be true, right? Because I had no recollection of what Christian just said. But he seemed adamant it was true, so I went to see my doctor. Actually, ever since the accident, I haven't been back here for any extra checkup. And you know what? After several tests, I was diagnosed with memory loss. Well, that explained a lot. You see, a few months ago, I had a bicycle accident. I fell off a cliff, but luckily it wasn't high. I bumped my head, but I thought I was okay, as I still remembered my family and friends. Turns out, I only lost the memory about the period of time when I was dating Christian. How ironic. But it was a big misunderstanding. You know, I have this bad habit that every time I feel someone is getting distant towards me, I save face by dumping them first. So maybe when Christian was busy taking care of his mom in the hospital, I misread the situation and ended things with him. He was right. I am a horrible person. I can't believe I let an amazing guy like him go. But nope, Not this time. I believe the universe gave me a second chance. That's why I met him again. So I ran to Christian's apartment to explain everything to him. But when I knocked on the door, Wes opened it. You just missed him. He's heading to the airport to visit his parents for a few weeks. What? I couldn't wait 2 more weeks, so I took a cab to the airport. But on the way, I got stuck in traffic. Ugh! How am I supposed to find him now? Wait a minute. I've seen this scene play out many times in movies. So, can you guess what I did next? Yep, I stepped out of the taxi and ran like a crazy person up the road. I looked into each taxi hoping to find Christian and, do you believe it? I finally found him. He looked very shocked when he saw me getting into his cab. Before you kick me out, please let me explain. Then I began to tell him about my mom and how my dad and countless other men abandoned her. I was left terrified of being abandoned by someone I love, so my own irrational fear meant that when Christian was busy taking care of his sick mom, I thought it was a sign that he was about to dump me. So I ended things first with him. It's not because you didn't mean anything to me. On the contrary, you made me feel safe. I just like you so much that I didn't want to get hurt by you. Then I explained to him about my accident and why I don't remember him. Christian remained silent and kept his head down. It seemed like he didn't want to give me another chance. I tried, but I couldn't make him forgive me. So, feeling glum, I opened the car door to get out. But Christian took my hand and said, Sadie, I have missed you. Okay, fine. Let's give it another try. So that was it. Christian gave me a second. Oh, wait. Actually, it's the 3rd chance. And can you guess what we did next? Well, I'm now sitting at the airport with Christian, waiting for our flight to his hometown to meet his parents. I would be lying if I said I wasn't nervous. Wish me luck!